team defense, a little hitting there. So interested to see how the Jets come out of that green and white scrimmage with the Giants. You have Hakeem Nicks constantly with the injury issues and precautions, and it's becoming a theme really for his entire Giants career. But the NFL story that's kind of overshadowed everything this past week, Riley Cooper using racial slur at a Kenny Chesney concert and causing an uproar. I think the Eagles have handled the whole thing very, very poorly, allowing the players to speak on it, and it's created a firestorm, and it's become this gigantic thing that should be a big deal in terms of what we say, but I think the Eagles have done a much better job in the way they handle it as an organization. Matt in Connecticut, up next, right here on the Fan. How you doing, Matt?
Hey, how are you doing?
Doing well, Bob. What's on your mind?
So I want to know about this Riley Cooper. So he said one of the worst racial epithets that can be said in the English language. But in the context of what goes on in everyday world, we have a quarterback for the Eagles, and I'm a Giants fan, but he was a dog fighter. Dogs died under his watch for profit. There's people in the NFL who have committed murder, who have beaten their wives. And there's a total of awful things that have happened. I feel like Riley Cooper somewhere in the middle. And granted, you know, it's a horrible, horrible thing to say. It should never have been said. But I feel like the media is blowing this out of proportion.
Well, I'll tell you this, Matt. I think this has become a very, very big story. And when you put it in context of the other things you mentioned, you're right. Why should a word, why should a slur, why should something someone said, no actions here, obviously, become such a big story? I put part of the blame here. I mean, obviously, the bulk of it goes to Riley Cooper. If he didn't say it, we wouldn't be talking about this. But I put part of it on the Eagles. You know, to me, they've allowed their players here to all voice their opinions. And you've had these dissecting opinions here with Vic saying, forgive him, LaShawn McCoy saying, I can't respect him, Kerry Williams, the cornerback, saying that he doesn't trust him. And now everyone is taking sides because the players here are taking sides. So I see your point, and I just wonder if the Eagles had gone out of their way to kind of come out with a company line and handle it in-house, if this thing would have died down a little bit. But it's amazing, man. It's taken on a life of its own media-wise.
No, granted, the Eagles handled this completely wrong. They should have said one way or the other. Either he's being disciplined or he's not. And they've given him a little fine here and there. I mean, no one knows what he's fined. These guys make more money than any one of us regular Joes can even imagine. So we don't know what this toll is taking on him. And the fact that the locker room's divided is what's keeping the story going. We're going into preseason, and is the locker room divided? Is it not? Who's on whose side? And it's going to tear apart the locker room. And frankly, I'm happy for it because it just means that the Eagles are going to have another horrible season. But it just seems like in the overall picture, this is getting lost in the fact that these athletes, these star athletes, especially the ones with the star power, they have this sort of carte blanche where they can get away with these horrific crimes or saying these horrific epithets that the people just are like, oh, well, he called me 12 touchdowns for my fantasy team, so it's okay this year.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be that, and you're right about that. They do live in a different world than us, not just in terms of money, but in terms of consequence, and I appreciate the call. Look, maybe what I'm doing here is a little bit different than the normal.